Did you see that?
Pats versus Ravens. Next on the list.
That was a really great game.
That game, watching
like
the
towards
TV.
the end of
Like,
the
you got,
game,
like, where's the
it was
ball?
just like, what the yeah. I was just like, man, are they going through like a typhoon? What's going on here? I was just like, what the heck? Yeah.
And I think, maybe possibly Lamar Jackson was feeling the same way. Where's the ball? Like, I don't know. Because, like, he even had the whole issue with the snaps, right? The snaps were falling to the ground. He had to fall on it.
Stuff like that.
Everything looked like slippery. And I have to ask a question. We're not the pros. We're just the spectators.
Right.
But I say to myself, what's it easier to do in the rain? Run or throw the ball? Because I'm just like, that looked like pretty bad rain where you're going to maybe miss a couple throws.
Right.
And you're given that chance of it, like, slipping out of your hand on the throw, slipping on the catch.
But even
you would think it would be easier to run. But for some reason...
The grass might always be
slippery and
more
wet,
slippery and stuff. It depends on the turf, too. So that's the thing, because sometimes some turf is better, against the rain than other turf, and some turf is just way more slippery.
And I think that maybe that's what it was. And you have Bill Belichik for the Pats, and I think he probably knew
the rain was coming.
The rain was coming.
He knew.
Raingate.
Son of a...
You made it rain, that son of a... Raingate, no.
I could just see him, like, outside his window looking at the clouds, and he's like, it's here.
Brewing.
Yeah. just like sipping a coffee or something. Yep. He's like, we're winning tonight.
Yeah.
I can just see that happening.
Like I just with his, like, watching the meteorologist on TV, like, and this is gonna be nice and sunny. Belichick just comes in, puts a little rain thing on the clip. Rain. It's raining tonight. Lamar Jackson's tears.
Oh,
but, no. What I was gonna say was, all right, as a defense on a team, we got to take away their strongest thing. Ravens, a running team. Let's take away the run.
Yes.
And force him to throw in the rain, right? And because like, you try to put this game together and be like, all right, where did Lamar Jackson mess up now? So, and not to say that it was all his fault, but then what did you tell me earlier?
There were like, the thing was, so in one of the reports, he's kind of blaming his offense for not picking up, like, not staying on his level or whatever it was. He's kind of blaming the offense on not being as good as they were last year. And it's kind of like, okay, man,
bro,
like, you gotta, and it's like, it's not necessarily that. It's also maybe people just figured your play style out because they know you like to do that run option every now and then. So maybe they're keeping you more contained, and they know that if they try to force you to throw, it might not, work out to you the way you want it to. Yep. So a lot of defenses, I think, are starting to figure that out when they're playing the Ravens, and they're starting to, like, trying to get into Lamar's head and stuff like that, and now he's trying to blame his own team and his own offense, and it's like,
don't go down that road. That's a nasty road.
It's
People
like, come on, man, you just got off being the MVP.
Yep.
Don't let that get to your head where you're like, oh, I'm MVP, so the reason why we're losing is because of my offense. It's like, no, come on, man, like.
And so, coming into the game, they did really well. I think with the first possession, they got all the way to a touchdown, and they ball possessed, with the running game. It took up a whole 8 minutes of the first quarter, and that's usually how they beat out teams. They don't let their offense stay on the field too long. It's hard for the other teams to get into a rhythm. You have nothing but, you're wasting the clock and you're scoring, and that's what the Ravens do best. Mm-hmm. And then then you had on the other side, though, another running quarterback. You had Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And now, not to take anything away from Cam, like, we got to remember, when Cam came into the season, he was looking pretty good.
Yeah.
And then he had COVID. You know what I mean? So, like, he came back from that, and the games he played, it took 2 games. Like, he got destroyed by the Niners. He got beat by the Broncos. The first game back was against the Broncos, and, like, you could tell it wasn't all there.
Right.
And against the 49ers, it looked like they didn't have enough time to practice. Like it was just
to pick up what they needed to fix. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they come in, they have a close game, but I think it was still a loss. I forgot against what team. Mm-hmm. But it was the Bills. It was 24-21 against the Bills.
The Bills are doing.
But then
really
you
good.
look at the Bills, you're like, okay, hold on, let's not. People already counting Cam out, and they're like, oh no, I guess that was a wash. No, because he comes in and he shows you exactly the way he came in at the beginning of the season. Yeah. He's Cam Newton. Yeah, he was also an MVP. Like, you guys are missing the part where this is a Belichick system still. Yeah, he's gonna figure shit out, and you have Cam Newton. And, the man had COVID. The man couldn't practice at all. He couldn't even probably be in the facility. It is what it is. Like, you have to quarantine. That does something to a team. So it was barely the beginning of the season when they were doing so well, and he gets caught up with that. Takes him a little while to get back into rhythm. Yeah. But you can see the rhythm here.
Definitely, yeah.
So, you still have the Patriots being the Patriots, and Cam showing a veteran presence, right? Because he's playing under the same reign, but he's getting things done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And the game,
and he's making all the right decisions. Yeah, and it's like that's when it comes down to, on that game, you look at the person with experience versus the person still, the rising star, and it's just like.
And it's not that it didn't affect him, right? He only had 118 yards of offensive play. Yeah. 1 touchdown. He got sacked once, but he did run the ball in. Yeah. Right? But that just goes to show that's what I'm saying. I think the Patriots did a lot of running of the ball because of the rain. Yeah. And they did very well defensively to make the Ravens try to pass in the rain because they were stopping. They were doing really good to try to contain the runs.
It's like what I said earlier in the season too. It just feels like Lamar Jackson's always trying to chase that highlight. Yeah, he always
even in this game. Actually, you watched that the touchdown at the last touchdown that they did. Yeah, it just looked like he was waiting for that kind of highlight reel play, because that's what it looked like when I was watching the game, and I was just like. That's what I feel like. That was a little iffy. Was that necessary? I'm glad you got the touchdown, but man, you were struggling. Yeah, it was to get here.
Not necessary to keep getting highlights.
Easier things you could have did.
Yeah, exactly. Just get the short pass, man. Yep. Just get the first down. Yep. You don't have to go for a Hail Mary on a 1 in 10. It's just I don't know, some games you just watch it and you're just like, I just feel like Lamar Jackson's still trying to chase that MVP.
But that's and that's worrisome that he's blaming or leaning toward don't do it.
He's not don't do it, bro. I don't remember his exact words, but I remember he's not necessarily just pointing the finger like, oh, it's my offense that's doing that. He wasn't necessarily saying that, but he was kind of throwing shade at his own offense and saying something. He said something about how it's hard to perform as well as he's doing with the way other people are playing or something like that. And I was just like.
And maybe it's a retaliation, because I know Brown at one point had said, what's the point of having soldiers if you don't use them? So that's kind of throwing shade at Lamar Jackson. So maybe there's some tension going on. Maybe that's what it is. Like you said, you don't need Hall of Fame players all the time. Sometimes you just got to be working together.
Yeah, maybe now you just gotta click. Yeah.
Something isn't clicking on both sides.
It was ever since they got rid of Earl Thomas because him and his tag team brother and all the other weird stuff that was going on, and now the Ravens are just
well, we'll see. We'll see if they can figure it out and come back from it. They're still a strong team. They still do the things that they do.
Yeah, they could still put up
with
the
running
numbers.
The ball and when they again that 8-minute drive running the ball against the pass, that's exactly what they do best, and that helps. But when it comes to crunch time, and welcome to the NFL, Lamar Jackson. I don't know if you've ever played in the rain, but pro football in the rain looks a lot like that. So, it definitely had an adverse impact on the ball, and your coaching staff and everybody needs to call plays that are going to help you adjust in the rain as well. I think what Bill Belichik did. So there's that. But
there's just adapting to the rain, adapting to the environment that you're playing in. So that's what they did.
But keep your team together. You're the leader. Don't help.
Don't be blaming other people.
Put separation. Bring them back together. So